Today we're talking about Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed.
Top Gun is a 1986 American action drama film directed by Tony Scott.
And the script's only this big, and they were like, that's the script, and he's like, we're shooting the rest of it in the air.
Greetings.
They had a consultant, and he's actually in the movie.
Oh,
yeah,
that dude. The older gentleman, they say.
That's the real Viper.
Danger zone!
Are we supposed to have visitors today?
So,
Yeah, it's the old principal from Back to the Future.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
I mean,
Y'all
soon
use that
enough,
AI
dude.
up there?
The
Hey, I
flight
put a
school
baby's
is.
head on Tom Cruise.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
Top Gun was created to teach ACM, air combat maneuvering, dogfighting.
This gives me a hard on.
Sweet. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beacon. Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for. Today we're talking about Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed.
Oh, there you go. Shadwick with the aviators on. Guys, I just gotta be honest, straight out of the gate. I saw this one first, probably, on cable television, whatever. I did not like this movie. And I did not like this movie because of what happened to Goose. That messed me up so bad the first time I saw it.
Dude,
I didn't watch
serious.
this movie again for like probably 10 years.
It was so
till I was in
serious.
my 20s before I went back and revisited it and was like, this movie is badass.
I haven't finished watching it yet. Does he go on to be a commander or what?
A fine, upstanding member
He
of the
goes on to
community.
father his son, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's a scream, baby. Oh, Jesus.
Because you can't tell me that's not Matthew Lillard's dad.
I think
Jesus
that might have
Christ.
been. Yeah.
Leaf, where do you first remember seeing this?
Dude, I had an older sister, man, and she was all things Tom Cruise.
dude,
I'm
yeah,
talking
sure.
Cocktail. I'm talking Top Gun. You name it. If he was in it,
Emphasis on the cock.
I mean, he is-
Maybe emphasis on the tail, too, with old Tommy Boy. So,
I mean,
so
this movie pretty much like made Tom Cruise, right?
yes. I mean, because it was after, was it after Risky Business, I
Yeah,
believe?
Risky Business, and he was filming Legend.
Okay.
When he got cast in this.
I just know that there's a good documentary I'll reference probably throughout this. I believe it's called
Danger Zone.
Shout out Archer. But this it's like 3 hours, but it's pretty good. And I guess like Cruise had a lot riding on this one. He was kind of feeling the pressure on set. Like if this one wasn't what it was, career may go in a different way. So your sister introduced you to it, Leaf. What'd you think out of the gate, man? You enjoy it?
Dude, I liked it. I think I was more addicted to like the jet fighting than anything else. Like, when Goose died, I mean, I was kind of like, whatever. I wasn't really attached to the
You're
characters.
like, I don't care because I just pretended I had appendicitis and made this kid up the street cry.
No,
I don't have a soul.
Look, when I saw it, I was really young. You probably were old enough when you first saw it to remember, like, to actually care about the plot. Like, I was
probably
really,
been like 6 or 7.
dude. I was real young, dude. Like I said, this was a fresh one. We caught it out the gate. So
Nice. Shadow, what about you, man?
Yeah, I saw it really young too, and I always loved it. Like, I like his cockiness, the kind of debonair attitude.
Yeah.
Rewatching it now, I think I just pretty much ignored everything that Iceman did when I was a kid.
Same.
I was like, because they had him set up kind of to be the bad guy.
Right.
But rewatching it now, I'm like, he's right about everything.
Yeah.
Shadwick's like, watching it, I realize I'm Iceman. I'm right about everything.
Iceman did nothing. and
Everyone
said
else is
nothing wrong.
below me, which led a lot of your ex-wives over to.
Get out of the street, you fucking
Hey, it worked for me this week. God bless. The
was
fucking
great,
Shrek one almost ended me when the button didn't press. I about put my headset down and retired.
Live.
Like when we're podcasters and we retire, like wrestlers leave their boots in the ring, I just put my headset down and my hat and then walk away.
Just sitting there. Yeah,
But also,
dude.
these are Dre beats, so I'm going to need those back. Guys, today, thanks to Shaddy and his keen eye, I have Budweiser, which is actually the booze watch for Top Gun. Chadwick mirroring me. That's what they're drinking in the bar. Dude, Bud Heavy, this is solid beer, man. This is a
so good.
in a bottle. I saw them clang the bottles together, and I was like, dude, me and Shaddy have done that in bars many a time.
They're so ice cold.
After a zinger about somebody across the bar, we're like, ha, got him.
The thing about Bud Heavies is it's the king of beer.
Undisputed. I mean, who's going to, they haven't had a king of the ring for beers in probably decades. So until someone dethrones Budweiser, Bud Heavy, which, by the way, I found out from Workaholics, shout out their podcast. I wish they would shout us out. This is important. They said that when they were doing some stuff for Budweiser, they were being sponsored because of Workaholics. Budweiser was like, do not call it Bud Heavy. Okay, do not call it, because there was Bud Light and everybody, would call it Bud Heavy. They hated that, apparently. They did not like that being branded and marketed that way, I guess because they thought people would think it would make them fat. But I was like, God, people in corporate are so weird. Also, sponsor our podcast.
Please.
Leaf, what do you got, man?
Dude, I gotta diverge, man. I'm doing a little bit of a Florida man right now,
wow.
dude. The
That's a
double
good one, man.
IPA, man.
Well,
never had this one.
Man, that's topical because they filmed this in Florida, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Miramar.
So
yeah.
it's, dude, on brand with everything. Also, shout out to our Rewinder of the Month, Jason. I believe in post this time, I'm going to put in the clip of Jason knocking the guy's head off on top of the building in Jason, New York. One of my favorite ones.
Dude, you got to do the one where, like, he puts the bitch in the sleeping bag and just slams her against the tree.
That'll be
dude.
next week. Don't let me forget. Next week.
Right,
Dude,
all right,
Jason's just going to get like...
You're saying bitch like it's a bad thing.
You're the one who used it derogatory. Dude, I'll tell you, Jason actually lives or grew up in the town that inspired Mayberry, where old Andy Griffith's from.
Really?
And he also gave me some shit one time because he was sending me some AI photos that people did, and it was The Undertaker and Kane as kids, and I was like, it's fucked up. I was like, Shadwick always says, like, I look like Kane or whatever, and then he just sends a picture of Paul Bearer, and he's like, there's your daddy.
Yeah.
I was like, God
Not
damn
anymore.
it.
Now I think you look
granddaddy.
like Merlin from this movie.
Roger, I've got radar contact.
Oh, he's gotten that one before.
Yeah, I've gotten that one too. I just can't stop, won't stop, GameStop, man. So anyway, if you too would like to be a Rewinder of the Month, be sure to hit us up on social. You can comment on Spotify, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, all of those things, and of course on Patreon, where hopefully we'll be starting live shows soon, man. We're kicking the tires on that after this recording tonight, so as long as the tech bug doesn't bite me in the ass again, we will have that set up and start to do some fun things on there. So, all right, Leaf, man, if you don't mind, would you please lead us over to some boring-ass facts?
Absolutely, Chris. For those who are uninitiated, Top Gun is a 1986 American action drama film directed by Tony Scott and produced by Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer. Never heard of him. With distribution by Paramount Pictures. Dude, this one had a budget of $13 to $15 million, pulled in a paltry sum of $357.4 million. You said Tom Cruise had a lot riding on this one, dude.
Yeah,
He
home
cashed
run.
in. He cashed in.
Tom Cruise didn't even want to do this movie.
Yeah.
When they first approached him about it.
Yeah.
And I think they wrote this movie with him in mind for Maverick.
They did.
But I think he pretty well turned it down, and they're like, well, let's get him over here and put him in a plane. So they did that, and the guys took him up and did all the barrel rows and all that shit.
Yeah.
And he got out of the plane. He's like, we're doing this movie.
You know what's funny is so that documentary I'll be referencing, Danger Zone. When it has video of him when he got there, and so he had long hippie hair. And these dudes
from Legend.
Yeah, and these dudes were like, oh, we're about to just turn this motherfucker inside out, like up here in the skies, you know. And he came down and
disrespect.
yeah, I know. And he came down, man, and he fucking loved it. And that's what sold him on the film, which the more I saw interviews with Tony Scott, the director of this, the more I was like, I want to fucking hang out with that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's still alive or any of that shit. I didn't do that much research. But
Tony Scott?
yeah.
No, he's passed. Did you know that it's Ridley Scott's brother?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. But in this, he was talking about
Like the Manning brothers of
all
filmmaking.
the little details in this, and like kind of manipulation to get actors to do things that he wanted. I was like, this dude's cool as shit. I want to hang out with this guy. Plus, he's got a British accent, so you know you're automatically cooler, I believe. when
Gives you
have
extra
that.
points. Who knew Tom Cruise is an adrenaline junkie? No one would have ever,
Yeah, no
ever
shit.
figured that.
Who would have figured that out? Also, have a nice little tie-in from last week when we were talking about Shrek. Katzenberg was over at Paramount Studios when this idea originally got pitched, and he was on board with it. I guess they had 10 ideas. Somebody had a magazine article called Top Guns that was about the school, and they were like, we could make this into a movie. And Katzenberg was all about it, and I guess shortly after that he left to go to Disney. And I mean, we may be getting a little too historical on here, so if somebody could please put in the French mouse.
Pussy, 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 pussy.
No, I thought there was a lot of like interesting behind the scenes stuff with this one. Just like we talked about with Silence of the Lambs, they had a consultant. It was a Navy pilot.
Yeah, he was just freshly retired, and he came back for this.
Yeah, and he's actually in the movie.
Yeah.
He's we'll get to it, but when they're in the bar, the friend that Charlie is meeting.
The older gentleman, they say.
The guy that Tom Cruise is trying to save her from making a mistake with that older man. That's the real Viper.
Right. Yeah. And so like that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy about this. Like you said, a lot of cool stuff on the backstory. Digging into it, the Navy was heavily involved in this, and in turn, when this movie came out, recruits for the Navy went through the effing roof, man.
Damn, dude.
So, and my son was saying the same thing happened when Top Gun Maverick came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, because I mean it puts it all fresh on the brain again. But one more glowing thing, and I'll probably say some more throughout the episode. But Tony Scott, one of my favorite lines that he has in this documentary is he shows, I forgot who he's talking to, and he shows him the script, and the script's only this big, and they were like, "That's the script," and he's like, "We're shooting the rest of it in the air." Like, and here I was like, hell yeah, because this shit was shot in the air. This is not CGI. This isn't like, these are dudes up there
flying
doing
jets,
Blue Angels, all these like high level guys, are doing these stunts in there. It just blows my mind because I mean, again, we have today's eyes, so we're like, oh, it's CGI or it's AI or whatever. It's like, no, dude, this is like 85, 86.
They tried to shoot all the cockpit shots in the air, and all the actors kept getting sick.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
so all those shots are done in the studio. They had projections all around them so that they would get the reflections of the sky, like on their visors and everything.
So the attention to detail is insane on that kind of stuff. Like, but I mean, I would imagine dialogue too. You're probably not going to have you're going to have the radio. I know that they use the radio effect when they're talking, but your dialogue would be a nightmare to mix down coming straight out of a plane in the air,
In the 80s, I can't even imagine how you would do it.
I want to say all the dialogue was actually filmed or recorded separately, even from like the cockpit shot.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
I mean,
they got the masks on, so
that happens a lot, man. Before we get over into it, I do have one more story. Actually, took a safety training class from a guy that was one of the Blue Angels. That was he flew. He was telling me he did like flyovers for like the Super Bowl and Packers games.
What does he know about safety, dude?
Dude, I'll tell you what got me with this guy is the company I was working for, we had to go to this conference room and the safety thing, and I was like, God, like, I was like, I don't know and I don't care. And he goes, a lot of companies say safety's first. He's like, well, they're liars because they would be shut down if safety was first. And I was like,
I'm listening.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was Peter Griffin. I was like, go on, but This guy was he was talking about something like before we started the class, and he was talking about the Blue Angels or whatever, and I was like, did you ever listen to Danger Zone while you're up there? And he was like, huh? And I was like, Danger Zone or whatever? And he's like, I'm just messing with you. He's like, dude, I based my life off that movie. And sure as shit, when he played his little safety thing, fucking Danger Zone is like the song, like when they're doing. This dude is cool as shit. I wish I could remember his name. But anyway, these guys are, they have the egos in this movie. These guys, for a good reason, have these massive egos because this is like tippy top of the echelon in this. In this industry. So it's, it was cool to meet a guy like that. And I did make a Brett Favre sending a dick pic joke. So did get that in during the safety training. So, yeah, giggity.
So so when they first started writing the script, it was much more technical. And when they started consulting with the actual Navy, they're like, all this shit is wrong. Yeah. So then I think it was Tony Scott when he, I guess, went up in the air and just hang around with some of the pilots. He realized what a physical toll it takes on the pilot. And he's like, these guys are actually athletes. Yes. So they rewrote it to somewhat be a sports movie, like the locker scene. Yeah, the locker room. Even the competition for the trophy, that's not something that actually happens. Yeah. The whole basis of Top Gun is teaching teamwork. the guy Viper, the actual Viper, said he was like, when he was reading the script, there's some stuff that was wrong. He was like, what is this locker room stuff? And he was talking about the competition. He's like, there is no Top Gun trophy. He's like, if there was a Top Gun trophy, we would all be dead because everybody would compete until they died for this effing trophy because that's how these guys are wired. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot, and also we'll get to it when we get to the love interest. There's a lot of stuff that the Navy was like, we're not going to help you if you don't change this, this, and this. And let's kick this off as we have plenty of facts to sprinkle in as we go.
Absolutely. So the film opens up on a aircraft carrier, but right before that, you get this sort of black screen credit scene that tells you basically what the Top Gun school is, right? It reads, on March 3rd, 1969, the United States Navy established an elite school for the top 1% of its pilots. Its purpose was to teach the lost art of aerial combat to ensure that the handful of men who graduated were the best fighter pilots in the world. And
pause. I was reading that last night. Yeah. And I just kind of chuckled. I was like, the lost art? This is 1969. How long have we been flying?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I did the same thing. I laughed. I was just like, well, it's been only a few years. 20 years, we've lost everything?
It's just because of the missile technology that already started to
Yeah, technology had taken
apparently
over
they were
already.
becoming too reliant on technology.
Yeah, the dogfighting had lost that art or whatever, and it was like, if you can find them, then you can hire the A-team.
The A-team.
Why don't they just make planes that don't have pilots in it?
Yeah, one day,
right? I mean,
y'all use that AI up there?
AI slop?
AI slop? Yeah, let's do it.
So we find out immediately what the flight
Hey, I put a
school
baby's
is.
head on Tom Cruise. Sorry, I had to get that last one.
That's good. So we slow fade to the aircraft carrier somewhere in the Indian Ocean, and Kenny Loggins.
Dude, out of the gate. And I really wish we could put all of the music in this episode.
Me too,
I
man.
wish Danger Zone could just be playing throughout the entire episode.
Well,
Yeah, on
that
repeat.
the theme that's playing before Danger Zone starts, though, that's the theme for the movie. Kind of synthesized 80s.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to throw his name up here because I can't remember it. But the guy that wrote that, he'd been hired by Tony Scott, and apparently he was having dinner with Tony Scott and told him that he had the theme, and he's like, well, okay, I want to hear it tonight. And what he meant was he had it in his head.
He didn't have it.
So he rushed home from dinner, had a couple of friends come over, recorded it, and then Tony Scott, Tom Cruise, and one other dude showed up at this guy's house at 1 a.m. for him to play this.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah. And of
That
course,
must be
it
crazy.
was a hit.
Dude, and I mean, like
So good.
I mean, this is probably just as good a time as ever. I know it's early, but let's just go into this Kenny Loggins sidebar, guys.
So this is one of the. So the very next part when the Kenny Loggins is playing and the planes are launching off, like I'm already like rewatching this. I was like, damn, this was so freaking cool, and it still is incredibly cool. The sound effects of the jet engines roaring, the planes soaring.
Is this the first taste of that Jerry Bruckheimer, like, signature style that we get with like Bad Boys, Armageddon? It's that
Probably.
It's that kind of like it's that filter, right? It's like kind of dark at the top, and it kind of that gradient that comes down, right?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
and they all have like this strong kind of like Americana. You know,
some very masculine American, like Western
very
energy.
very patriotic, middle America.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of like American flags.
I never put that together. That does seem.
I mean,
like
maybe
wasn't
wasn't he involved in Flashdance? And that would have been '83. And there was some gritty, grimy shit in that. I just know, like, I'd reach up for that fucking chain.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Flashdance.
And I pull it down because I believe that chain is there.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I've ever seen Flashdance.
It's not for us. Anyway, dude. So just the danger, not to play off Danger Zone.
Yeah,
the danger
away from Kenny Loggins, dude. He's outside of us.
Not again.
Something Danger Zone.
Dude, the danger on these aircraft carriers is fucking insane. Like this dude that did the safety training I was talking about earlier had some horror stories of, you know, he showed us video of a helicopter that landed and the boat moved and the helicopter tipped sideways and went in the ocean. And you think to yourself, like, oh, everybody drowned. Everybody on that helicopter died. And it's like, you know, there's stories of those cables snapping.
Yeah, but apparently landing a jet on one of those is one of the hardest things that humans do.
And that's why they, you know, when the scene kicks off and you're kind of in the thick of it.
Yeah.
The thing that Scott said that all the pilots he talked to were talking about was landing in the dark on these aircraft carriers was like the hardest effing thing that you could do. And so he was like, I'm going to put that to open the, you know, kind of set the tone early on.
Yeah.
But man, again, camera work on this, holy shit.
And I love how they're showing the complexity of it, but they're also making it fun. Like there's that one dude that's like kind of doing the like, you know, the fist pump, and
they're stoked. Yeah. And in actuality, they're stoked that their guys like taking off or that, you know, they successfully landed, which in reality they're all just like, fucking 6 more months of this shit and I'm out of here.
Get out, dude.
They're like leaning over to the guy next to me, like, you know, this thing's running on nuclear, right? we're all gonna have dicks growing out of our heads.
Yeah, don't let me forget to hit that back later on when we start introducing the cast at Top Gun, because I have a funny story about that. So
well,
anyway,
we can start now.
Would it be about Slider?
Yep, a good old Slider, Justin Slider,
played by Grady Goldhammer.
Yeah. He has charges, allegations. So we start out so we immediately meet in the air. Obviously, like their faces are covered. Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Tom Hanks. Fuck you, AI. What is this, dude? It's the first time I didn't even look because I was like, of course you would get this right.
Yeah. Lord forbid you proofread it.
God bless, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, look, there's like 1,000 fucking facts and shit in here, dude.
God forbid that you do this yourself.
Oh my God, you both can suck it, dude.
Hey, you should put a baby's head on Tom Cruise. That's funny shit.
How do you not get Tom Cruise from that? Like, that's not me. I just want to say it's not me. I didn't.
Hey, could
fuck
somebody
that up,
AI Tom Hanks in this? Chadwick's like on it.
Yeah.
Now that's Lieutenant Dan.
It's Forrest Gump in the air. I believe I shot about 7 MiGs that day.
he misses the landing. He's like, we're going to need a bigger boat.
And Sling Blade is his co-pilot, dude.
Yeah. He's like, what? They're like, what happened? What happened to Goose, man? And he's like,
that's all I have to say about that.
Like, they ain't got no gas in it. I hate to kill you.
yeah. All right, man. So,
Lieutenant Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Tom Cruise, and his radar intercept officer, RIO, Nick Goose Bradshaw, played by Anthony Edwards. Also in the air, we're kind of introduced briefly to Merlin, played by Tim Robbins, and Cougar, played by John Stockwell. They're all introduced as skilled pilots running, I believe it's just like a training exercise, when out of the blue, they are intercepted midair by two actual real-life enemy combatant MiGs.
Yeah, it cuts to the guys
gotta be careful
inside
with that one. That one just sounds like a deep racial slur.
That's what they are, dude.
It's
like I was at the grocery store the other day and I saw a couple of MiGs.
just run around, open up all the cereal.
Yeah.
No, it does. It cuts to a couple guys like on the ship.
Are we supposed to have visitors today?
Negative, sir.
So,
yeah, it's the old principal from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
as the commanding officer there.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker. You remind me of your father when he went here. He was a slacker, too.
Dude, he's so sick of slackers, brother.
Even in the military, he can't get away from slackers.
Stand him, dude. Also, R.I.P. by the way. He just recently passed away, man. Yeah. Dude, what a legend.
For sure.
What a legend.
Did he play was it the Blade character, I think was his name, on the Masters of the Universe movie? Was that him?
Oh, I've only seen that once, and I deleted all of that from my brain.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried, but I'm not.
No, that wasn't him. That was I've got his name here somewhere. It's not him. It's
in the neighborhood of being him. They've shared a Miata ride together.
He is white and bald, so I can see the confusion.
Yeah, he looks just like a MiG to me. I'll tell you that much. His dirty white bald MiG head. If I make it a white racial slur, it's okay.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, it's you're staying in your lane.
Yeah,
we're fine. We're good.
We're taking it back.
So the pilots engage the
that
MiGs.
word has kept us down for 200 years.
Robert Downey Jr. sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, man. And so these pilots engage the MiGs in midair. Maverick, of course, clearly the standout of the pilots, a hot shot, performs these dangerous maneuvers, scares one away with a missile lock, and the second one is where it gets kind of fun.
Dude, yeah.
Like him and Goose engage the second one, and what happens? They end up.
Greetings. Watch the birdie.
They inverted the bird, I believe, is what Frank Reynolds said on Always Sunny when someone tried to chew through the fuselage, and he inverted the bird and landed it. But
it's such a cool
such
scene.
A cool shot too. Like, I mean, I'm 100% sure this was a real shot. This was done with some camera tricks.
Blue Angels do stuff like this, though.
I think it was a real shot.
Was it?
Yeah, it's not them in the cockpit, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But I'm pretty sure.
Disgusting.
Because there is a stunt pilot, not on this shot, but there was a stunt pilot that died filming this.
Yeah, I actually have his name. Art Skull was the guy that passed away.
And
but yeah, man, they were, and this may be them going up and them being back to back, so you can rotate it over and make it look like it is on the
like
screen.
they're diving.
Yeah, that probably makes a little more sense. But I mean, to be that close is insane. And
it's amazing.
And it's a cool, they pull out the Polaroid, shout out 80s.
Yeah, dude, that's the picture.
I love how about 4 or 5 years ago they tried to bring that back.
Yes,
Polaroids?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the cameras where you could print them out or whatever.
Yeah.
And dude, Matthew Lillard is so funny in this when he's upside down with his camera.
He's like, Zoink Scoob.
I swear to God, when I was watching this, I was like, his mannerisms. Matthew Lillard stole this dude's shtick. Like
John Stockwell.
Yeah.
Not John, but not him, but Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, which is not the basketball player, but like
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's Maverick.
Yeah, so Anthony Edwards, I swear Matthew Lillard just stole this dude's energy from this and used it in Scream and Scooby-Doo and everything. Like, the vibe to me is just so much the same because he's, like, goofy, having fun.
He's goofy. That's exactly what it is. He's so clownish and goofy.
I'm here for it. I loved Goose.
Same here. Yeah, that's
too.
why I hated this movie for so long.
Yeah.
So I was like, why would you do this to me?
Why? I was so young when I watched it the first time. It didn't affect me. Like, later on, it was like, it did make me sad. I didn't hate the movie, but I was like, damn.
You have to remember, I'm on the heels of seeing Bambi's mom die. Then all of a sudden they kill Optimus Prime as soon as I go into a movie theater. And then like I'm like, will you stop killing people in movies that I like? I'm just gonna stop going to see movies. That's a lie.
I put the clip on one of the podcasts of
Optimus Prime.
of Optimus Prime dying. Yeah, like in slow motion. It's so sad.
But so he, with that maneuver, that's quite a maneuver. He scares them off and they go away, and they come back. But unfortunately, who is it that is it?
Cougar.
Cougar. Is that John Stockwell? Right.
Yes.
So he's freaked out because he was locked. They had him locked, and you know
he got really spooked.
He was dead to rights. He's looking at the picture of his wife and child.
Kid. Yeah. And so another thing that I noticed on the rewatch of this, they're always sweating everywhere, like on the ship, on the
even
I'll have
in
to
the
defer
class, dude.
Yeah, because like I mean, I don't know, like I'll have to defer to some of my Navy friends.
Well,
like
maybe because they filmed in the Florida swamp.
Yeah, well, I mean, they also it's not exactly like on these ships they got HVAC units, pumping everything or whatever. But like, I thought that was a nice touch. Whether it was, I assume it was meant to be, especially with all the detail they pay attention to. I'm sure that was to because it heightens the stress. Like when he's takes his mask off and that sweat's pouring down his face, and he's got that dead to rights stare where he's just. Great job.
And he looks like he's panicking for real.
And I never noticed until my rewind on this that Tim Robbins is playing Merlin, which he's the RIO for Cougar. But
shout out my dad.
Yeah, he's like man, that Meg really screwed him up.
Oh, like classic Tim Robbins delivery.
Yeah, bro, man. Yeah,
and Tim Robbins, he ended up like getting scared from this, and he ended up going into baseball shortly after.
He did. He's like, I used to be a pitcher,
God,
and they were like, why they call you Merlin? And he was like, well, now you see me. Now you don't.
I was going to say, how great would it have been if his call sign was Nuke?
Oh my God, dude!
That would have been awesome.
Sick call sign, brother.
Maverick's on his way back. He's about to land, and then like Shadwick said, you start hearing my dad, Tim Robbins, start talking about how the MiG messed him up really bad, and so they're almost. And the thing is, too, they're almost out of fuel. So you have this like tension immediately where you're like, shit.
Yeah, ain't got no gas in it.
Maverick turns around and he's basically like, I'm going to guide you into this landing. Right. And this is like where you really start to see, I'm sure what every pilot has, like you see the plane, it's not steady. He's sweating. Man, this is intense as shit just out of the gate. And I was like, it can't get any worse than this. Hopefully nobody dies.
Yeah, man. Who could die? It's just training.
It also shows like Maverick's camaraderie, his sense of duty to take care of his fellow pilot or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and he guides him in, so he does end up landing. That hook catches. It's super dramatic, man. Because I mean, like I said, that guy that did the safety training. There's pilots that went, and they're like, you're too low, you're too low. There's pilots that have crashed into the ship. There's pilots that have missed the landing, go off, and you just crash a $50 million
dunk it in the ocean
vessel in the ocean, and it's gone. And hopefully you eject, because if you don't, you're also gone. Like it's dangerous shit, man.
Speaking of how expensive this shit is, they were trying to film a certain scene, and they wanted like the sun on a certain side or something, and they asked the captain of the aircraft carrier. To turn around so they could film it again, and he's like, it costs like $25,000 to turn this thing around. And Tony Scott wrote him a check.
He went downstairs, grabbed his checkbook, and literally wrote him a check so he could get this shot.
And then later on, Tony Scott in an interview, he's like, "I'm pretty sure that check bounced."
Yeah.
Who did he make it out to? Like the government?
USA. He's like, red, white, and blue. All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh, screw.
I get it. I have bad teeth.
But Chris is right. The scene is really intense because, like, in that moment, like, he's like wobbling back and forth, and like his co-pilot or whatever is like screaming, man. Like, you just don't know if he's gonna make it.
I know.
Right?
I was gonna say that scream makes you think that he's crashing, right? It's like pull up now.
Yeah, I know. And they're like screaming. You're like, shit, somebody. Because that used to be an 80s trope, too. A lot of times, I mean, in movies, like I talked about jokingly earlier, people would get offed in the first scene to kind of display danger to you for the film to kind of set up a theme that's running through it. So you think, like, oh, shit. But, you know, he does land. And I like the cut, too. They don't even bother with Maverick landing. You're like, Cougar lands. You obviously know Maverick lands safely. But Cougar's done, and he's supposed to be. I like the little back and forth where he's supposed to be in sick bay because they're like, "All right, man, you got your head messed up."
He had a panic attack, something fierce.
And so, but he comes in and he turns his wings in, and he's like, "Dude,
I'm holding on too tight. I've lost the edge. Sorry, sir."
Cougar's done, and then Maverick and Goose get called in, and they get. You know, they're obviously a bunch of slackers, as we talked about earlier, because of who's talking to them. Right. But he talks them up and down.
Your father was a slacker.
Yep, and talks about how reckless they were and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, but unfortunately, Cougar was her number one pilot, and he was going to this Top Gun training. You were number two.
Who does number 2 work for?
So.
And it is it is important. That guy does mention, or he makes mention of Maverick's dad.
Right.
He's like, with your family history, you should be doing it better and cleaner than the other guy.
Right.
Right.
So,
right.
And that's your first little hint. You're like, oh, what's this about? You know, and it's good writing, especially with as little dialogue as in this movie. Like, this is a good balance of, like, testosterone and enough dialogue to carry me through it with enough layers. Shout out our Shrek episode. To go back when you watch it over and over again, there's shit that you pick up the third, fourth, fifth time through that you didn't pick up, which is I think is super important in movies because we have attention span that can be measured in nanoseconds now. And even back in the 80s, apparently. So,
dude,
anyway.
this is one of the scenes where, and I'm going to talk about this later on too, but like this is one of the scenes where when I was young, like I thought like the Stinger, played again by James Tolkien, was like such an asshole. Like he was such a jerk. And I like watching it, like obviously now with like actual grown adult eyes. I'm like, he's so nice. He is so nice to them, considering what they did, like how they broke the rules, and he's still kind of like shouting him out a little bit, kind of like fluffing him up. And he has a hilarious line. What is it, Shadwick? What does he say if it doesn't work out for them in Top Gun school? What are they going to be doing?
You screw up
just this much. You'll be flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong.
It's a great one.
I fucking lost it, dude. It was so funny, man. But he's actually like super cool to them. So off they go, man. Like off they go to the Top Gun.
I'm sure. I mean, and I'm sure most of that was him too.
He's like he's no helmet. He's like driving fast he's riding fast as hell. And you see like the plane like taking off next to him, and he's just like the character.
Cool shot too. Like just show you like the shot of him like right beside it and where he's at and
in love with flying, and that's just like his whole life. And so here we are in Miramar, California, where the Top Gun school is. And we meet the instructors, Jester, played by 80s icon Michael Ironside.
I love fucking quiche.
Yeah, man.
And Viper, played by Tom Skerritt.
Boom, that's me and Skerritt. Wow. Goddamn right, wow.
As they explain the purpose of the school, and they set up, again, the non-existent friendly competition between the pilots.
Dude, by the way, and this is when we get introduced to to a couple other characters in this. Val Kilmer.
Ist der Takt und Achsen, bitte.
Playing Iceman. What a good-looking dude. I mean, I'm just going to get out of the gate with it, right? Like, this dude was made for Hollywood. Like, he just chiseled jaw, like the hairline, everything.
This gives me a hard on.
Apparently went to Juilliard.
Did he? I mean, it makes sense. He had a Juilliard body. And
Don't tease me.
yes, everybody else was shredded, and he was, not so much. But, like, but he, great actor, can do multiple things. Even, I noticed in the documentary I watched, and I think, we're talking, if we haven't mentioned already, 40 years, ladies and gentlemen, since this movie came out. 4-0.
No.
And I think this was like a 10 or 15 year when this DVD came out on this. Leave, calm down.
Sorry, for the audio listeners, I was just, my left arm was tingling.
Elizabeth, I'm coming, honey. I know I'm coming this time. I can see my tombstone.
It's a big one, man. But he, even when he was doing this documentary, he kept that ego, that whole persona that he had as Iceman. Yeah. And I've seen other interviews with him where he's like a humble, normal dude or whatever, but I thought it was pretty cool that he kind of hammed it up even for the doc. So if you watch the doc and see him, which makes sense with Shadwick with the Juilliard shout-out, that's what those guys do, right? They'll stay in character and they'll just kind of make a game of it. But he talked about pranking Tom Cruise on set and all this, all this other shit. But again, shout out Val Kilmer and his Rio slider. And who's that?
Rick Rossovich is his name.
Yeah.
And
Rick Rossovich was the guy. So they actually sent these guys, just a sidebar real quick, they sent them to go train for real, to be pilots, like for like couple week training course. Tony Scott wanted them to be in shape because he found out, like Shadwick said earlier, these guys are athletes. Like this is, you have to be in shape to do this. So they went through all the drills, like all the G-force drills, like all, a lot of the workouts and things like that. And they filmed a lot of this stuff on carriers, right? Yep. Well, Rick Rossovich, they had this designated place for them to sleep. He went in there and he saw like the radioactive sign or whatever, right? And he was like, fuck that. I'm not going to sleep here on this little cot. He found another bed, which if you don't know, like there's a bunch of barracks on there where people sleep. Well, he was in like an officer's bed. And the guy came by and was like, get out of my bed. Like
3 a.m.
Yeah, like get out of bed. And he was like,
suck my dick.
I mean, I'm not getting out of your bed, but you can come in here and join me. And that guy, for you to do that to an officer, now he didn't know, I'm sure, that this guy is not in the military or whatever, but they were on set for 4 days on that carrier, and Rick made it 3. They flew his ass off on the 3rd day.
So I heard that Val Kilmer also got kicked off the carrier, but I never heard why.
They were like, everybody kept trying to fuck him.
I mean, it was the Navy, right? Isn't that their reputation? I don't know.
Yeah, we clip that out, please.
Just pumped full of semen.
Yeah, that does sound good. But yeah, man, I thought that was a funny ass story that this dude, and when he's talking about it, he's so arrogant and laughing about it, and then like, yeah, maybe probably should have done that or whatever. But knowing people, like I know a lot of Navy people in the industry that I work in. There's a lot of people from the Navy.
Yeah.
And knowing like how that culture works or whatever, that is a fucking no. Like that's like if somebody had done that like an actual like sailor, they would have just thrown him over and been like, yeah, I don't know what happened to your son. He must have slipped and fallen. I don't know.
He's dead now.
Yeah. So all right, but yeah, man. So you get introduced to those characters, and we're the rivalry is set up, man. You out of the gate, you see it because Maverick lets them know out of the gate like he's gonna be the number 1 pilot. He's the number 1 son.
he's where's your LeBaron, Freddie?
And this is the first little hint of some homoeroticism.
What?
They're sitting there talking like I can't remember what's being said, but one of the guys leans over to the other one. He's like,
this gives me a hard on. Don't tease me.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
You just cutting Ted.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's funny. I mean, we used to say fucked up shit like that too. Or we still say fucked up shit like that,
man. We do. And like the thing is like, I mean, I don't know. Like, spoiler alert. There's like between men, like there's all kinds of like like homoerotic comments made between like each other to like cut the tension. I mean, maybe they're serious. I don't know, but like in general, like most guys, they joke like that. You know, there's all kinds.
I mean,
of,
like 2 weeks ago, there was 5 of us in a cabin together. Yeah. No women.
No women.
People probably being like, I got some bad news for their wives.
Yeah, deeply closeted homosexual.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Yeah,
deeply.
No, I said I'm deeply closeted.
What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Closeted.
You're not listening.
Doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
Yeah.
So you kind of see like throughout the film, there's like kind of jokes and like that's like legitimate banter between men even to this very day. Like,
yeah, man.
That's just kind of how it goes. But I mean, they reclaim their masculinity in the next scene when they go to the bar. The bar, I guess, where all the pilots go. Like I guess near the base, right?
This is what I call a target-rich environment.
Yeah, dude. They go to a target-rich environment where all the loose women are. There's just like mini-skirt clad girls, like hanging out. Everybody's flirting and drinking, and having a good time.
And I really don't know much about military. I've never had any interest in joining, but I don't think they would be wearing their white uniforms here, right? Isn't that like a...
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes you can wear them out, sometimes you can't.
Somebody hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, someone can correct us on that.
Yeah, what's the rule about wearing your uniforms?
What I do want is for you to stand there in that faggoty white uniform and with your Harvard mouth extend me some fucking courtesy.
I feel like this is an easy way, too, for you to identify who all was in the class. Because you
I
just
agree
had
with
a
that.
quick panning shot of everybody. So this kind of hits home who all
You kind of want to, you want to delineate between who's in the military here and one of the pilots and who's not. So I mean, I'm fine with it. Like obviously in this scene, like I don't know if it's normal or not.
This is the ultimate, pun on wingman situation here.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Maverick is, Maverick and Goose have a bet, and Maverick's about to go pick this girl up at the bar, and, he thinks that she's lost that love and feeling.
She's like, no, she hasn't.
Yes, she
She
has.
has not lost that love.
Goose, she's lost it.
Matt, come on. I hate it when she does that.
So straight out of Chris's 19 to 25-year-old playbook that I would have done with Leaf and other people and Shadwick. Like, we would have pulled shit off like this for each other to hook up with somebody.
Yes.
Like, by any means necessary, right?
You would do whatever you could for a wingman.
And I think this was my introduction to that song.
Really?
And probably my introduction to the Righteous Brothers.
Righteous Brothers, the intro to this song, just as a music nerd, this thing is so well written. Like, and it just has a perfect build. And when someone else other than these people are singing,
I'm pretty sure he's like purposely singing off key, right?
Well, who knows?
I mean, most of the time, a successful actor can, carry a tune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's meant to be a drunken sort of banter and a flirtatious So obviously Maverick spots a blonde girl, a cute blonde girl that we come to find out very quickly is Charlotte, aka Charlie Blackwood, played by Kelly McGillis.
You have to have carnal knowledge of a lady this time.
Yeah.
yeah. And so he has set his target. He does that impromptu a cappella song, which ironically everyone joins in and kind of helps him out.
Hey, man, everybody turns into the wingman in this scenario. I kind of dug it. Like, it's a little camaraderie. It kind of shows you outside of the competition. This is like you're outside, you're still on the same team, right?
Yeah,
which I kind of dug.
And everybody's having a good time, too. Like, there's that aspect of it, right? Like, everybody's singing along and kind of playing around. Well, and so...
I do want to point out, like, after he sings this little bit and Charlotte invites him to sit down, the guy that... I believe he was on Walker, Texas Ranger, right? The black guy that takes over the microphone.
Oh, shit.
He starts singing the second verse.
Him, yeah.
But his call sign on this is Sundown. Why don't they just call him Darkness?
Darkness is!
I mean, it's a little on the nose, right?
Yeah, like that was, it's kind of a little bad. Like, Tony Scott's like, none of the Americans will pick it up. It's perfect.
Dude, in the end, by the way, you see him, like, when he's like, he ends up being like, Tom Cruise's ROI, and he's got like a Japanese like old school helmet like emblem on the front. I always thought that was weird too. I'm like, this guy's all over the map, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. This is where you get your love interest for this. This whole part of it, which I thought this was kind of funny because a couple of times they asked for help from the Navy, and they gave them help. When they gave them the original script, they're like, we can't do this, and you guys, we're not going to help you. And they're like, why not? Because she originally was an officer, and officers can't date. And so they were like, well, do you have any like civilians that come in? And they're like, oh yeah, we have this group or whatever. And so they rewrote it around the fact that the Navy wouldn't allow that to happen.
Which makes perfect sense because he doesn't know she's involved in the military just yet.
Which I spoiled a little bit, but I hope all of you have seen this movie.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Like Maverick flirts with her, and he crashes and burns. She seems basically mostly uninterested, and she's already on a quote unquote date with an older man who turns out.
Shadwick pointed out earlier is the OG Viper, the actual Viper.
And apparently the costume designer first had her, I don't know for this scene, but had her dressed pretty much like a hooer. Like they had to really tone her down.
Really?
I mean, it's the 80s. I mean, everybody got cut, man.
There's like a 30% chance she was going to reach up and pull a chain and water was going to come down. You just don't ever know where the chain is.
There's a 130% chance that she wishes.
When you strike out at the bar, she's there with another date. What do? Well, you follow her in the bathroom like anybody would.
Dude, please, guys, don't follow a woman.
Well, you just want to drop down on the floor and do it right here?
Counter in mind.
Yeah, he's like, no, he's dust off the counter. He's like, no, I was hoping for like the counter.
Like doing a little stress test.
Yeah.
So that place was actually a hangout for Navy officers, and it was torn down like I don't know 2010 somewhere around there, and
before it was torn down, someone stole that bar top or that countertop. The counter in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna get it signed by everybody.
They're like, Tom Hanks touched this. This countertop. I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen him. So like they flirt. He strikes out again, like in the bathroom. Go figure. Imagine that, right? And so his suave moves come to nothing. Then the next day, we get the big reveal that Chris sort of like lightly touched on. Maverick discovers that the girl, Charlotte Blackwood, a.k.a. Charlie, is actually a civilian under the government contract and a Top Gun instructor
and
specializing.
I know it's not a quote, but this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like they're sitting in class, like in this big hangar, basically,
right.
And she walks in like from the back of the room, walks past him. She turns around, and Tom Cruise just does this like,
Hello. We will be dealing with F5s and A4s as our mixed simulators. Now then, as most of you...
Oh, no, he's like, God damn it.
and Goose is like, hey, isn't that...
Because he told Goose that he banged her, right?
She did.
Yeah.
She did. Like, I don't know if they like work something out like off screen we don't hear, but like she walks back by Goose in the bar and she's like, your friend was magnificent.
Yeah, and so you think Goose thinks that they hooked up, so he doesn't know like the scoop. But yeah, that look on Tom Cruise's face where he kind of has a smirk where he's just like, what have I gotten myself into? Like and this was another one that the actual guy Viper that was giving them advice and trying to help shape what was actual real in this. This was originally supposed to be in a classroom.
Yeah.
And he was like,
we have a classroom right over here. We would never do this in a hangar.
Yeah, and so they were like, but in the hangar, which I never really noticed, but it's true, in the hangar, you got American flag in the background, you got the jets everywhere.
Looks so cool.
It's just a great visual, right? And that's what they were trying to, and he was like, and I was wrong. That's what Viper said. He was like, yep, looks way better there.
Yeah, on film. And so she begins to she specializes obviously in enemy aircraft, and she begins to give basically like data on the MiGs And but Maverick interrupts her, telling her obviously her data is incorrect because he's had real life experience. Dadgummit. And he wants to tell her that like what he saw and what he did, and he actually harkens back to the scene we saw earlier. Which thank God, dude, because a lot of times when movies like they have these moments and these scenes, it's just like a story that happens off camera. But it's really cool in this situation because we got to see it. Like, we know Maverick's telling the truth, and Goose keeps being Maverick keeps saying I did this, and Goose is like we us. I was there. And so he's doing it all, of course, to flirt with her. Like Maverick's like telling the story, and then she realizes, of course. So this is what's really cool about the scene. Before, she's sort of like playing really hard to get. She doesn't really want to have anything to do with him. She rejects him like twice. And now the script is sort of like flipped a little bit here because she realizes he's somebody of import that has done something crazy, albeit crazy, but amazing.
But she has data on it because she's like, you're the one.
You are the ones who are the ball lickers.
She does.
She finds out like
she heard and knows that she's finally face to face with the guy.
Basically, she's saying that the planes that they fly are incapable of doing what he did.
Right.
So he calls her out and he's like, no, I always think this is funny too. He's like, I was in, and then Goose interrupts like
28. Sorry, Goose. We happened to see a MiG-28 do a 4G negative dive.
Right.
And also you have Val Kilmer interrupt here, like Iceman, which by the way I found out that's ad-libbed.
Yes.
When he goes
bullshit. No, he was, man. It was a really great move. She was inverted.
That was ad-lib.
Yes, and everybody's reaction
was genuine. They were laughing because that wasn't in the script or whatever. And I was like, that's so awesome when those...
And I wondered, because of that, because Anthony Edwards turned and goes, no, man, seriously, he did. It was a really cool move.
Like, if so...
Is that completely ad-lib too?
I'm sure, because, I mean...
It must have been.
It had to be, and because I'm sure they didn't say that's great and do it again. Like, so I thought that was cool anytime they do it. But then I also, like, want to know... Like, when as an actor do you have the stones to do that? And when is it like you do an ad lib and the director's like, Jesus fucking Christ, get him out of here. Get him out.
Not for Tarantino, like, evidently, because, like, he was quoted as being like, dude, I wrote the script, you read the script.
Right.
But even still, there's certain actors he allows to get away with it, like, at a certain point in time. Like, obviously.
I'm like, I got you a foot, Mr. Tarantino.
He's like, well, you get the pass, dude. Tink. So... They sort of flirt back and forth, Maverick and Charlie, and after the clash, she catches him and she tells him she wants to sort of hear about the MiG and his experience with flying on a strictly professional basis, of course, And this time he sort of rejects her. And he's just like, you can read about it in your top secret reports.
You got clearance. Read about it.
Right? And so she's no doubt moister than an oyster here. And this right after that, she's been rejected.
Moister? Yeah, and
dude.
Yeah, it also just she exudes this mature sexuality in this.
Yeah, man.
That is perfect for this role. Like she seems like she's in control for this entire fucking ride. Like when she's never like duped or whatever, and you get the kind of the other side of the spectrum when we get to Meg Ryan in a little bit, but like it's I thought that the casting of this was perfect, which also I think Tony Scott said I think he saw her naked in a movie before this, and he was like, she basically got the role then. So again, Tony Scott, I wish we could have hung out, man.
Dude, please, man.
Does that make you horny?
Yeah.
Does it make you Randy?
But this particular scene basically comes to an end whenever Iceman sort of like pulls Maverick aside and confronts him. Because, I mean, he's just tired of his bragging, his showboating. And he asked him, he's just like, hey, listen.
Well, I mean, you do find out, too. Like, remember, Iceman was friends with Cougar.
Yes. They all knew each other.
And then so the thing that he says is he says, well, who was covering Cougar's wing when you were doing this?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. Unlike the AI synopsis that said who's covering Goose's wing when they're in the same fucking plane, AI.
Listen, God. The names got switched around clearly at some point in time, but the idea is this. that Maverick.
See, the thing is this.
See, the thing is this. Maverick was showboating instead of doing what he was supposed to be doing, and that can get you killed. Like when you're
get your friend killed. Yeah.
Did AI write moisture than an oyster?
Yeah, they did actually. Like I had to spell correct it, but yeah.
Leafs use AI so much now he doesn't even fucking know how to write.
Dude, I just I
this
have
is
to go
actually
correct.
Leaf is asleep right now. This is actually a program doing the podcast.
I'm
with us
AI
right now.
I'm AI.
Leaf
All right.
died in 1997. I've been being duped for all these years.
I did, dude. I did. The biggest joke ever, dude. Ever.
It's the best reality show. Fuck my life. All right. So, but yeah, man. So you do get like I said, the Iceman is like, hey, you put Cougar in danger because they were in flight school together, as you found out in the bar.
Yeah.
So he knows him, and that's also, I mean, we kind of glazed over it. I thought that was a nice little peer into what Iceman is. He is all about flight school. He's all about being Top Gun, and that's all he cares about because he says Cougar, he was a good man, and then Maverick's like, he still is, like he's not dead, But to Iceman, to Iceman, he is dead because he's no longer a pilot. Like that's all he cares about.
It's his life. That's everything. And Iceman's strictly by the book. So
and that
obviously,
chiseled jaw.
Yeah.
I always kind of got the impression of Iceman almost like he was legacy. Like he was.
Yeah.
Like he was like raised in a rich family. Always had everything handed to him.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then of course Pete. He's the underdog. He's. Probably
broken
grew up.
Classic story, right?
Yeah.
Underdog story.
Underdog. He's from a broken family. He has no. I mean, that's a very good point. But I mean, in this situation, Iceman's like he's very by the book, and you see the divide sort of between them sort of widen because they've always kind of been like throughout the movie thus far, they've sort of kind of been at each other's throats. But you get to the point where Iceman's literally like, you're a problem, though. Like, before, we were kind of bantering back and forth about who's the best and the past, but, like, actually, Maverick, you got a big problem, and I'm calling you out on it.
And now that they've set up all this dialogue, they're like, fuck it, let's go to the skies.
Dude, let's go for another badass, like, stock footage scene, which is just so good.
And they talk about the hard deck, which is the line that they're not supposed to fly under, the altitude. But this entire thing is filmed way lower than they would actually be practicing.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they had to mount cameras on the tops of those mountain peaks.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. So they got cameras up there to catch the flybys and shit?
Yeah. So they're already breaking the damn rule?
Well, I mean, they're just the pilots were just saying you don't normally fly that low. Like, so.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
mountains
there's no way that you're going to have cameras stationary that high up.
Right. Well, I was saying, like, as a pilot, too, the lower you fly, then you have mountains, you have obstacles.
Well, and plus, having the mountains as your background simulates speed, right?
Right. Yes, it does. It looks. I mean, again, the fact that this is all practical basically is insane.
That is actually crazy. These guys were risking their lives filming this movie, man.
No, one of them lost their life, dude.
Yeah,
it's
and
nuts.
one passed away. So, dude, it's crazy to see like these scenes. Like the dogfighting is awesome.
Because we hear it all the time. You're like, I mean, they're like, a human life is. There is no price tag on a human life. Well, apparently it's $300 million box office.
There you have it.
So, unless you're one of the little people in The Wizard of Oz,
then it's $200 million box office.
Well, then it's just whatever it costs for a 3-foot casket.
It's like a Shaq shoebox.
So much Patreon asides, guys. This is amazing, dude. This is absolutely amazing. So many.
But yeah, man, back up in the sky, like you said, they're fighting lower than they normally would, and it's a dogfight, and Jester in a better plane as well, right?
Yeah,
like,
Jester is played by Michael Ironside. By the way, shout out to his voice over here, like Chadwick said. He is such a cool voice for the pilot, with the the sound effect on there. It's so cool.
Oh yes.
No. And so basically Jester is in a faster, more maneuverable plane, and it's like Maverick and Goose going against him, and Maverick demonstrates his piloting skill in this intense dogfight. And in the end, gets the better of Jester. Jester's defeated. And
but
technicality.
But Jester goes below the hard deck.
Yes,
so it doesn't count.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that, but not even satisfied with what Maverick considers a win, because Maverick and Goose consider this a W, right?
Yeah.
They're not like Maverick's not satisfied with that. So and ever wanting to push his luck, Maverick decides to buzz the tower, do a little flyby.
Oh, dude.
And this
guy,
is a really important scene because.
Dude, who is this? Do we know what the actor is?
I don't have
no, I don't think it doesn't matter. I just know that when he gets coffee spilled on him and he starts swearing and shit, what I'm taking away for Be Kind, Let's Rewind on this is I need butts, which is later on that we need to have in here.
I want some butts.
Yeah, I want some butts.
Yeah, dude.
I always like that he spills the coffee when they do the flyby, and then as they're walking to Viper's office to get dressed down for their bad behavior.
Yeah,
it shows that dude coming out of his office and he runs into somebody, and he's like,
God damn it! Heck, twice! I want some butts!
Yeah.
He's like, son of a bitch bastard.
Son of a bitch bastard. Yeah, that's good shit, man.
In the aftermath, they're in the shower, so we get this shower scene, right? Like Iceman.
They needed it though. They needed to establish sports.
They're having this guy shower moment where they're sort of like talking about the aftermath, and like Shabak said, I mean, Maverick and Goose act like they don't care that they technically lost, because it's like Iceman who informs them, you guys listen, the kill doesn't even count. We don't know why you're celebrating all your fancy moves here.
Hard deck my ass. We nailed that son of a bitch.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
They know.
They're high flying. Yeah, because in real life, and that's the thing, that's the difference. Again, it shows the difference between Iceman and Maverick and Goose, because Iceman is like strictly by the book. He's like, well, your kill doesn't technically count because you broke the rules. But like in real life, Maverick wins that dogfight.
Yeah.
Like, and he goes home, and the other guy goes, in a flaming casket, right?
and this is where they really start to butt heads. Like, that line I just said. He's like, you really are a couple of cowboys, right? Iceman says, and that's when they kind of get in each other's face. Like, what's your problem, Gazowski?
You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe.
I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
Yeah, because he's got to depend on this guy, right? Like,
yeah,
and he knows that. So Iceman is like, I can't trust you. I can't trust you to be where I need you to be up there.
Yeah, and do the right thing and not put our lives in risk just so you can showboat and do something wild or crazy. Right then, good old Michael Ironside, a.k.a. the guy who was defeated in battle, Jester shows up, and he's like, look, you guys are, we need to talk to y'all. Viper wants to see y'all in the office, so get out of your uniforms and or out of your flight suits and come up to his office, basically, and he's getting chewed out, and this is the moment that Chris was talking about. Like the main guy, Viper, who's their instructor, is getting chewed out by one of the, I don't know like what rank he is, but assumedly he is much higher up, and that's when he yells at them and tells them like he wants some butts. And so Viper literally reprimands Maverick. Viper reprimands Maverick, and Goose tells them that, listen, there's no tolerance at the Top Gun school. You guys are supposed to be the best of the best. We're not going to tolerate rule breaking. The next time means expulsion. Don't F up again. And so they're basically relieved they're not going to get thrown out of the school because they thought they were done.
Well, I mean, like Goose is like, Goose is his Rio, right? So even Goose at this point is kind of like, damn, bro. Like,
I got a family to think about. I can't afford to blow this.
We kind of need this. Like, let's.
I have a family. I don't want to die, but I don't want to lose this opportunity either.
Right.
So they have a heart-to-heart at the same time. And also, there is a scene with Viper and Jester sort of talking. They're higher up.
I do like this
about Maverick.
This was cool. And Jester's basically like, Viper, doesn't he say like, I mean, did he get you or whatever? And like, Jester admits, he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
he got me.
Yeah, he
but
got
it's
me.
like, but Viper responds in a really intelligent like way. He's just like, yeah, like he got me, but he's reckless, he's arrogant, he's careless, and sort of Viper kind of sits there. He's like thinking for a minute, and he responds, he's like, well, would you trust him going up? You know, up as your wingman and as your teammate, basically. And Jester's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And that's a huge insult, because you don't want to put your life in the hands of an I don't know, like,
especially like we talked about earlier. Like, you know, half an inch is life and death for these guys. Like literally. Like on this type of
you got to be so precise.
Like so you need to know where your teammates are at the, you know, when you're up there in the shit, man. But they cut through this nicely with they're in school, they're taking tests, and I believe we saw this in Billy Madison too. I believe Charlie basically sends him the same fucking note, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm horny.
I'm horny. Charlie says something about whatever it was on the test, and then he looks down, and I'll be damned if he doesn't have a date scored with her at her house. 5 o'clock sharp. Dude, before we can go to 5 o'clock sharp, dude, I believe it's time for us to play with some boys.
Play with the boys, dude.
Gotta pay that toll.
Dude, you gotta pay that toll, which actually leads me over to shit stuck in my head this week.
No.
Dad, Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
You know how I know Shabwick's gay?
How? Because you're gay and you can tell who other gay people are?
He played this shirtless volleyball scene in slow motion when he rewatched.
That's gay.
That's gay. God damn, you beat me by 1 second.
And you beat me by 1 second. 1 second. That's very hard for a man of my intelligence to handle.
Yes.
But dude, this was you know, when the Tony Scott was like, look, but that's why we got to get him in shape. And we've got him in shape, so we might as well just have a scene for the ladies. And he was right. I mean, this...
Dude, it worked. It worked.
How many times have you seen this parodied, or people have talked about it, or you've just seen the clip? It's so over-the-top and obnoxious that it's timeless, right? Like, it's... You know, we joke about it, but it's, you know...
I didn't see Gabrielle Reese out there playing not once.
Not once, man.
Not once, dude.
But
it's literally Schmidt's gay, bro. The slow motion with the shit.
Chris Farley thing.
And fucking Tom Cruise is out there doing his Robert Kennedy impression, playing in his damn jeans.
His jeans, yeah, no, that drives me fucking wild. I couldn't do that. You got sand all in your jeans.
So I want to take a shower later.
And he keeps looking down at his watch, which I got to be honest, on this rewatch, I was laughing so hard at the music cut into this, because it's kind of an abrupt cut to the volleyball playing with the boys.
Yeah.
Like, I was laughing so hard. Like, when he's looking at his watch, I totally forgot he had a date.
Me too.
Like, I was like, this scene is so 80s, because at the time, this is what you did, right? Like,
yeah, there was always they would take the shirts off of men who were really like, and the same with women too.
Right.
This is just what you did, like, in the 80s.
You know what? I just thought about something. I wonder if that movie is where I've got my love for big watches.
Probably.
It might have been.
Because you're like, if I constantly look down, that means some girl's waiting on me. Shadow's like, shit.
My favorite part, and please, for the love of God, cut this in, is when Slider, played by Rick Rossovich, is almost doing this
slow-mo.
The bodybuilding.
I knew you were going to know it.
You know how I know you're gay?
He even talked about that. He's talked about that in the documentary. He was like, I even pulled out some bodybuilder poses and shit.
We saw, dude. It was in slow motion, brother.
Val Kilmer bitched because he said that some of the, I guess his close-ups got burned, as in, like, I guess the lighting wasn't right on him.
Oh, no.
Or the film was messed up, and so he said he always secretly thought Tom Cruise went in there and messed him up on purpose, so there'd be more, like, he was joking. But, like, also, Val Kilmer wasn't as ripped as everybody else. Like, just, at least Goose put a shirt on.
Was he a diva?
Who, Kilmer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I did hear the last line with the you can be my wingman anytime.
he
he did not want to do that,
Yeah.
and like flat out refused, like stayed in his trailer, and I don't know how they eventually got him to come out, but I was like, what a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Hollywood actors, right?
You're making a blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
Just do
Yeah,
your
but he's
job.
gonna. Yeah, but I mean, he knew he was gonna go on to be the best Batman.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
And so,
I just see Shamrock's screen go black.
He's like, the podcast is over again. Every week we
my
end this
nose
podcast.
started bleeding.
Yeah, he just starts to shake. You see him keep looking at his watch, and this is what bothers me again. Just being old and understanding. I understand this has to move for the movie, and they even address it. He's diving in sand in his jeans, throws his shirt, shoes, jacket on, and drives his motorcycle over to this girl's house. I was like, you got to just smell like toe funk and ass, man.
But I do love though, like as he's driving off, you hear "Mother Goose, you pussy."
Yeah. His friend is getting cooked.
Well,
dude.
because you found out that they've got like it's 1-1. They just evened up the volleyball game, and then but he's got to go because he's got some pussy. Never gonna let it die, and so he goes. He goes to meet her. He's late, of course, and but you know, girls like that, right?
Evidently, and like this starts sort of like the arc in the film where like the will they or won't they between Maverick and Charlie. Like, she doesn't let him shower. She's just like, I got a problem with you showering my shower, evidently, and so
she was hungry.
Yeah, and that is a little presumptuous, right? That's kind of intimate.
To go ask to shower at someone's house? Yeah, man. I don't want you guys to go. No one needs to go in my shower.
But he would have been even later, and she would have bitched about that. It's literally fucking no win for this man, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
dude, I bet she had fucking like hair all over the shower wall and shit.
Dude, it's like the guy that was there the night before. Shit's still there. Like,
oh no.
Yeah, Leaf. This could have all been avoided.
There's like a size 15 tennis shoe in there.
Leaf. This could have all been avoided if I don't know if he was on time.
Dude, he was helping his bros with the fucking volleyball game, man.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
That is a timeless volleyball
That's
game.
what Leaf's gonna say from now on. It's like, I was playing volleyball, man.
My bros with volleyball.
We were tied up, bro. We could have won, but I left to be with you guys, man.
Leaf's like, I left duck high and dry.
Listen, man. All that matters is that like Maverick doesn't get laid in this scene. She
never had any intentions. She wanted to talk about the MiG.
Right.
She didn't. She actually wanted to talk about the
dirty little MiG.
Yeah, she wanted to talk about the MiG, and Tom Cruise looked at her and he's like, "Shut up, MiG."
Dude, she just wanted to like so the whole time she's been sort of like semi trying to advance her career, and that's where we are in this moment. She's like, yeah, this is really important to me. There's like a job I could get at Washington that is like really important. It's like higher up. If
Maverick's like, is this what it feels like to be used? Is this what I've been doing to all these women? I hate this. This is bad.
I'm a
monster. I deserve to be in here.
That's exactly what happens, dude. He doesn't get any tail, and she basically is like, they still flirt. And the only important thing that happens in this scene is that he talks about his family, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're playing, what is it, like sitting on the dock of the bay?
On the dock of the bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Another great song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic like soundtrack on this, by the way. And so he talks about his mother, who obviously died when he was younger, and his father, he says, disappeared. So we get a little bit more insight about his dad, which everyone keeps bringing up, right? Like he was on a mission.
I thought that was Sundown's dad.
Yeah. So we find a little bit more about like Maverick's father, and we find out that he disappeared on a mission to wherever it was.
Vietnam. It's his whole other country.
Whatever the case may be, it's classified. So Maverick doesn't know anything about what happened to his dad, really. It's just that there's this...
His dad was a pilot also.
Right. And
yes.
it's also kind of, when he's talking about sitting on the dock of the bay, which I just assume is probably his mom and dad's song, and he talks about his mom listening to it over and over and over again, which kind of like gives you a peer into like the morning and the, you know... Like I didn't pick that up as a kid at all. Like as an adult, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like that's actually pretty fucking clever how to write that in there.
So I mean, his father being a pilot, I mean, is sort of all sort of shrouded in mystery, or what he did to get any kind of stigma upon him. But he basically gets cock teased and leaves to finally go take his shower.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
I bet that jacket's ruined now.
You know, and for the longest, I thought that he meant he was going to take a shower at her house.
I did too.
So they could bang.
Yeah,
but that wasn't it.
No, because that's what I'm saying. This whole movie toys with like he sort of like doesn't want to give up any like position to her, so he'll leave her on the edge, and then she sort of teases him and leaves him on the edge, and it's just like back and forth. And she shows up, I assume, which is the next day, like, or maybe it's after his shower. I don't even know. But there's another scene where she shows up and she's got like a military jacket on or something, like a flight. I don't know what it is, but she's got like a hat on too.
It looks like you need another shower.
Right.
Either way, there's this weird will they, won't they like scene. And in between this, we actually get to meet Goose's family, which is more important, right? Because this sort of establishes...
Yeah, because it's hot Meg Ryan with all
yeah,
her
that's the most
bubbly
important.
energy. Dude, she's tan, she has blonde hair, and she's bubbly and fun.
And goofy and entertaining and fun.
I do enjoy that.
I mean, the part that...
Goose, you big stud.
Yeah, the only gross part is the kid.
I told you I shoot kids.
I thought you would have gotten Shadow because he took a big swing right when you said that, but instead it's just dead inside. His
Shadow's
eyes,
like, yeah, it is
lifeless.
But yeah, so you get to meet a young Meg Ryan.
Yeah, man. Her name is Carol in the film, and she sort of like clearly she knows Maverick, and we have this moment.
They're close too, like you can tell.
Yeah, it's sort of like they're
brother sister vibes, and not like on the hub brother sister vibes, like normal brother sister vibes.
Yeah,
you have to specify nowadays.
Yeah, you really do, and they sort of have like they have a back and forth where you know, she's basically like, are you still just fucking dicking around broads like you always do? And you know, he's just like, well, there's this. She's like, I hear that you're in love with your instructor, which you find out Goose sort of like told his wife, because let's be real,
hey,
yeah, lots of men tell their wives everything. So the married men, you guys kind of know it.
Idiots.
But we call those guys retards.
Like a rookie move.
Yep.
But so finally this all comes to a head. The next day in class, Charlie basically hurts Maverick's pride.
The encounter was a victory, but I think that we've shown it as an example of what not to do.
He's mad, and he looks at her, and then there's like this. They're like, yeah, fuck you, and there's a chase scene. You
know, I do like though, like right before he leaves though, she calls him out. Like, you know, it worked in this case, but I think we've shown it as an example of what not to do.
Yes.
And then is it Slaughter that leans over? He's like, "Go, just move over, solid man."
Yeah. He's giving him props, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah,
but,
like he's like just sick, dude.
But then like after class, it shows him like walking over like to his motorcycle, and he's kind of got that pissed off swagger.
Yeah,
you know. And she goes and tries to talk to him, and
my review of your flight performance in the test was right on in my professional opinion.
I can't hear you.
I have to admit, I've done this. You know,
revved your car or motorcycle.
Well, not that specifically, but you get your feelings hurt or you know, whatever, and you just don't want to hear it. So you just you know, you turn on the complete asshole mode. Like, what? I can't hear you.
That is a Shadwick move. But also, I mean, I also have done that, but I usually just go radio silent. So I'm just like, let me walk away before I say something I don't want to say and shouldn't say. And that's usually, for me, My wife now understands that, and everything's fine. Ex-girlfriends did not understand that and kept barbing me. And then you get the other end of that, which is I say what I shouldn't have said.
Right.
And it's always awesome.
It always works out every time.
And that's why they're described as
X's, yes. But yeah, so he speeds off. She speeds off after him and almost fucking gets T-boned. Jesus Christ.
And I'm sure all that's like choreographed, but what about like he's barely getting off the motorcycle and she comes and like slams on the brakes and about takes that bike
I know.
out,
I
dude.
was like, holy shit, man.
It's
but
so
all this
close.
tension is built up to doom 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 doom. Which I tried to like the other night. I just like was in bedroom with my wife and I just like start playing that song and she just like, oh cool. So will you hand me my sleep mask?
she's like, gotta lay off the Thai food, seriously.
Yeah. Coming at me guns hot.
She throws you a fucking porno mag and some
lotion. Yeah.
Have fun.
So as the tension finally boils over after the car chase, she admits she's fallen for him, and that's the reason she sort of called him out. She's trying to like hide her feelings for him. She doesn't want it to be obvious, and he just grabs her and kisses her, and most like masculine, and she's into it. Man, it's like,
and apparently
take my breath away.
He had a line there that he was supposed to say. And he didn't remember it, so he improvised that kiss.
Really?
Dude,
nice.
yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you though.
It works, man.
The Take My Breath Away it's a good fucking song. But Always Sunny ruined this with the dentist system episode. And he's going through this whole trick that he has to trick the women into like sleeping with him. And then he goes,
I love you. I need you. And then, naturally, we bang.
Do 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 do.
and that's exactly what happens.
When he looks up, he's all sweaty.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens in the film. They bone in this long 80s drawn out, like she's against the wall, like wearing
the most like I don't know if you call it impressive or invasive.
Yeah.
French kissing.
Oh, dude, yeah. There's a lot of there was tongue involved in that, and no doubt. Yeah.
It gets
I mean,
really.
sometimes you want to see a tongue go the other direction.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to be caught, man. So they've had coitus, and then the next day, this is where I erroneously said this earlier. This is when Maverick is starting to become more Maverick.
Yeah.
And what I think Iceman feared, right?
Yeah.
Like that he was gonna break Wingman, and he was
right.
And that's what happens.
And so during the next training exercise happens, and Maverick, of course, breaks. I believe it's Hollywood and I don't have a credit. Apologize this actor's name, but a credit for him. But Hollywood, he's supposed to be covering and being Hollywood's wingman in this training exercise. But Maverick breaks free because the lead instructor Viper is participating.
He wants Viper, and
he wants Viper, and he is rumored to be like, he's obviously the instructor. He's rumored to be the best pilot, and Maverick wants a piece of him to prove, obviously, that he's indeed the best. But
stop.
Shaq's just brushing his teeth for those audio listeners. So, but Viper is a wily pilot, and as they chase him, we quickly discover that it's all a trap, and Viper has lured him into his crosshairs, and Jester comes up from behind, locks on.
Goose, check our tail. Shit, there's Jester.
Bingo, Maverick's dead. You're out of there, kid.
You're dead.
Yeah,
You're
good
dead.
night.
Yeah. So later on in the shower, we get another scene, man, and I mean, Shabak said it earlier, dude. Iceman gives him the best advice of this entire film in this moment. He tells Maverick, listen.
Maverick, it's not your flying. It's your attitude.
Like, that's their issue. It's your...
Which is, people have said that to all three of us individually at every job we've ever worked at. Like at the job, you're great at it. It's your fucking attitude, guys.
We're all still on our hero's journey because we haven't learned our lesson yet.
We still haven't learned our lesson. Look, the dude that wrote Shrek wrote it at 80. We've got like fucking 30-something years, man.
At least, man. There's plenty of time, guys.
Time to make our mark.
You guys got a lot of growing up to do. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you that much. But I mean, it's a great scene because it's you're like, fuck,
It is.
like, Iceman sucks, but he's right,
And Maverick actually admits it. Like, he doesn't fight him. He doesn't, like... That's another strange thing about this movie. I feel like there's, like, in any other film, the way that it was written would have been, like, a big like, fight between them two. But Maverick's like, he's right. I'm stupid. I'm arrogant, and I made this mistake. And he tells Goose, listen, this is the last time. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to push it. And Goose sort of, like, slaps him on the back, and it's sort of ominous because he tells him he knows. He's like, I know. And then he slaps him on the side of the shoulder again. He's like, I know. Like, seriously, I understand.
Like he's got, like, because it's his boy, right? Like his best friend. And this is where I fell in love with Meg Ryan in this movie, is this next scene.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Lillard's playing the piano. Fuck. Goose is playing the piano, acting goofy.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Woo! Maverick, would you go fetch him? Doesn't he ever embarrass you?
Goose, hell no.
Just as fun-loving,
and
she's kids there. Like,
she's calling out Maverick for being basically a poon hound, and it's all a joke. Like, she's laughing. She's like, I know what you are.
Yeah.
And, she embarrasses him in front of Charlie, and Maverick, obviously it's all in good fun. It's not like a serious thing. Maverick gets up. He's like, I'm done getting roasted and cooked. I'm going to go sing with my friend and embarrass myself over there instead of here. He gets up. And that's when Carol turns to, Maverick's girlfriend at this point in time, Charlie, and is like, look, he's off the market. And Charlie's just like, well, what do you mean? And, like, Meg Ryan's character's like, look, he's in love with you. Like, this is, like, legit for the first time I've ever seen him. And evidently their relationship goes far back. And so that's that moment where it sort of...
And then Charlie's like, oh, that means I have the power.
That's what Shadwick as a kid, he was like, never give them the power.
And Charlie's like, now we play the waiting game. Yeah. And so...
now I start to turn the screws.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
So
We all
they have
feel
this,
more...
This is a fun scene, though. They're singing,
It's such a good scene.
He's a pianist.
By the end, yeah, exactly. So, like, Goose is playing the piano, singing to his kid.
Show me the way home, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
And this scene is literally so endearing because it sort of like solidifies the audience with all of the characters. You start to see, it starts to really feel like everything is going to be okay.
And in the 80s, you should have fucking known. I should have known at this point, like in the 80s. It should have fucking known better.
As if you needed to humanize Goose anymore, it shows you like, with his wife and child.
And how good of a dad he is.
And he's got the best life. His wife is like, come and take me before I leave you. Like, begging for, like, sexual, like, intercourse.
She's like, God, I love you so much, Goose. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Yeah, I pray you don't die in the very next scene. And
then in the next scene,
Goose is dead.
During the next training exercise, Maverick, of course, is engaged. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. You assume that he's learned his lesson. He's doing everything he can, and he is the wingman for Iceman, and he's trying to do his best. And evidently, you could argue this point. I'd like to hear you guys. Like, it looks to me like he flies too close, like behind his wingman. I don't know, but he hits his jet wash, which is obviously the jet engine. What is it? The fluid and
it just changes the temperature.
The gas,
air currents.
The air currents.
So it changes the temperature, and it, I guess, can flame out your engines.
Yeah,
we're not pilots or mechanics.
We're not pilots.
So
yeah, somebody.
This is shit we've read on it. But so for this, so it sends him into a spin. So for this scene, Tony Scott actually asked the real Viper, who was helping them write this, or kind of their consultant. He's like, how can I have this what plays out, which we'll get to in a second. How can I have this happen? And Viper actually said this is what would happen if you did this. And then, he talked about, which we can just go ahead and walk through the scene. They go into a spin.
Yeah.
They had originally written it as a mid-air collision.
Yeah.
And And Viper was like, no, that would never happen. So, like, we're not going to agree to that at all. So they had to rewrite it and come up with this. And
so, like, when they're in the spin, which Viper was like, if they're in the spin, the centrifugal force is going to prevent the pilot from hitting the ejection lever because he's going to be pushed because they're in the spin. The Rio can, but the way, because they were like, what happens is the canopy doesn't clear. And you even hear Maverick talking about that, I think, as they're going down. Like, they eject because he can't reach the eject thing.
He's telling him to eject.
Yeah. And so, like, what the protocol on this, I from what I've read and did research on, is you have to eject the canopy, which is over.
Mm-hmm.
So when that goes off, you have to wait for that to clear because of the spin and because of physics and Dow Jones and stock markets. That's going to stay there for a little bit, and then it'll finally clear. And when it clears, that's when you eject. So in the movie, it hasn't fully cleared. So when it ejects, Maverick is free. Goose ejects into the canopy, and it kills him.
Eject! Watch the canopy!
So it's actually Goose's fault that he died.
Kind of, yes. Well, actually, not kind of, yes. But
Yeah.
you didn't wait for the canopy to clear. But
Yeah.
so this scenario had happened. And so that's why the real Viper had this scenario kind of pocketed, as he'd heard of this scenario or saw the scenario play out, like where,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so then you just see Goose's limp body go. It's a terrible scene. He's falls in the water. Like, Maverick goes over to him. He's not moving. They evac him off, like, and he's just lifeless. And then they tease you by showing, like, the hospital, and you think like, oh, like, maybe he's in it. No, he's just fucking dead.
He's dead now.
Maverick is in the bathroom, right? He's just like devastated about what's happened, and Maverick knows. Maverick knows he's gone, but Viper comes in and he's like, "Listen,
Goose is dead."
Yeah, like the audience, you don't know.
It's a weird delivery too. Like he walks in, and I think the very first thing he says is,
"Goose is dead."
Yeah, I know. Like, so as the audience, like I said, when it shows the hospital or whatever, the outside shot, you're like, maybe he's like injured or crippled
in a coma, something. There's a chance he could still be alive."
Like, he's just dead.
like
Goose is dead.
And fucking 9-year-old Chris was like, "Fuck this movie. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. Fuck you, Val Kilmer."
but this was actually Goose's death was not the worst thing that happened in that scene, right, Chris? Because that's when the stunt pilot actually died.
Yeah, I think this is when the stunt pilot actually.
So what
died.
actually happened? I don't understand why he got killed.
He went into it was a jet wash thing. He went into a spin. I don't know if that was if he was planned to go into a spin so he could get the footage of it. I don't know.
I think so.
And so he didn't regain, couldn't, and when he ejected or didn't eject, I never really got like a full story on it. They never recovered his body. So he went in the ocean.
And apparently this is something that this guy did all the time.
Right.
It was just like a fluke.
It was just a fluke, and it's just the movie's dedicated to him. Like, But I was like, wow, like that's.
And I heard something that was, to me at least, interesting on the way they filmed that spin. They had a camera above the plane, and I think I know they integrated like some shots of model airplanes too. So for this, they did have like the actual plane spinning, but they also had a model, and they had a camera on a drill above it with like a piece of wood, like kind of offsetting it.
Yeah.
So it was making the camera like wobbly and spinning around.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you get that chaotic.
Crazy how they think of this shit.
It's
like,
an incredible scene. It really is super intense, as all of like the jet scenes are. They're all crazy, really good, and this one's really intense. And Maverick survives, obviously, but is devastated. He blames himself, and it's just even worse, dude, when we see Carol and Goose's orphan son, bro. That like
and they're just sitting there,
and
and Carol is consoling Maverick, like in this scene, right? Like,
yeah,
where it's her husband's gone, but you know,
Instead of Maverick consoling her, he's basically speechless in this scene when he's handing her like Goose's effects, his personal effects. He's like, he doesn't really have much to say, and she's like, "Look,
I'd have flown anyway. Without you. He'd have hated it, but he would have done it."
this was him," and she sort of starts to like choke up, and like Maverick can't even speak, and he doesn't even really say anything, and like she turns and just leaves.
He's doing that clenched jaw thing.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. It's so freaking terrible, man. Like, it's really hard to watch. And
one of my favorite scenes is this one with Iceman, though. The little short scene back in the locker room. I think Maverick's kind of like cleaning out his locker. He's about ready to quit, and Val Kilmer, like, he comes up behind him. I think Tom Cruise never even turns around, right?
Yeah, he's just looking forward.
Yeah.
But I think Val Kilmer did such a good job here because he doesn't like Maverick.
Right, yeah.
But he's wanting to offer his condolences. And you see this thing where he's trying to figure out what to say, and he kind of like looks up, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry about Goose. And then he looks up and it's like, we all liked him.
Yeah. And it's because this is all he is. That kind of, to me, what that told me was like, he doesn't know how to act in emotions and anything else because all he is a pilot. Like, he doesn't know how to relate. He doesn't have empathy. He doesn't have anything. He's just
exactly. That's why his call sign is the Iceman. It's because he is very calculating, cold, and not very emotional. And in this moment, he's struggling to really find that emotional connection. And you see it.
Also, he's trying to say something nice, but at the same time, he doesn't like Maverick at all.
So he's not going to say something nice about Maverick. He's
He's like, yeah, everybody liked Goose.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, we liked him, we don't like you.
That's what
it's kind of a weird scene because it cuts from that. You go to like the board that basically is like, you find out there's this trial evidently that's going on, and you find out like Maverick had no wrongdoing in this, like, so he's completely cleared. Like,
it's like, why do we gotta have a trial when I've just destroyed like an 87 100 and whatever $1 million airplane, dude, and someone died.
Therefore, the Board of Inquiry finds that Lieutenant Pete Mitchell was not at fault in the accident of 29 July. Lieutenant Mitchell's record will be clear to this incident.
Obviously.
And Viper tells Jess, like, get him back in there as soon as possible.
Because he knows, right? Like, if you got to get him back up there or you're not going to have a pilot anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'll get too much in his own head. And I really like that. Like, it shows, like, the emotionality. They recognize Maverick's talent and ability pretty much for the first time outright in the film, right? Like, they're finally flat out like we need him, like, to be in this, and he's great, like, if he can overcome this horrible tragedy. And so they put him back up into the air.
It reminds me of that tragedy.
Yeah, and he just doesn't do well. Like, he absolutely
chokes. He's second guessing everything. He won't move. He won't take shots. He's done.
And it harkens back to the beginning of the film,
right?
Because
like the confidence once it's gone, dude.
It's gone, dude, and like he's sweating like
in the beginning of the film, like
in
Cougar.
The very beginning, Cougar was really sweating and starting to have a panic attack, and you start to see a lot of those symptoms and that sort of behavior in Maverick now, and he just simply can't let go of what has happened, and it's
rough. And when he lands, you know, he blows up on Sunset.
Sundown?
Why does he have a Japanese helmet, though?
That's weird.
Like a kamikaze helmet?
Yes, it's like the old school Japanese sun, dude, with the rays. They changed it later on.
So he lands, they get into an argument, and he's done. He's just like...
It's like, man, we could have had him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, nope. So he quits, and luckily he's got Charlie to lean back on. He can go be consoled by her and fix things.
Yeah.
But wait. No.
Oh wait, she's leaving.
She got her dream.
She got that job, baby. Thanks for the dick. I'm out.
She's like, you're really in love with me, huh?
Oh wow, yeah. I was just using you. That's crazy. I can't believe this worked. Oh,
These
cool.
hoes ain't loyal.
He's like, I stopped by the Dollar General and got some D-sized batteries for my trip to Washington.
She's like, and that's all you are to me, D-cell batteries.
Oh, God.
Replaceable.
Yeah, exactly.
Jazz.
Man. So, anyway, conflicted. This is where Maverick. I love this scene. This scene is. I always, and I have to shout out to our younger listeners and even us in our age in our 40s. Yes. Always talk to people older than you. Sometimes you'll be surprised what kind of knowledge gets dropped sometimes when you meet just a random dude that just shoot the shit with them. You're at a bar, you're at an airport, whatever, man. Sometimes people that are older than you've been through some shit, man, and they may be able to help you.
They've had experiences you haven't. That's 100% true. Like, listen, like, seek out wisdom,
right.
man.
That's what happens here is Maverick goes to talk to Viper, right. And you actually find out, like, Viper, tells Maverick that his father died a hero.
His F4 was hit. He was wounded, but he could have made it back. He stayed in it, saved 3 planes before he bought it.
And the reason that it's been covered up and classified is because we weren't supposed to be there. Like, legally, right. Like, it was all under the radar. And so the government couldn't be basically seen admitting that they were doing something probably internationally illegal.
Thank God that doesn't happen anymore.
Thank God for that, dude. We're past all that, dude.
We're past all that. 40 years later.
And so Maverick kind of asks...
We don't even need war anymore.
Yeah.
Maverick kind of asked him, he's just like, listen, he's like, well, like, I'm thinking about quitting, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And Viper's like, you got 2 choices, man. You've earned enough points to graduate, so you graduate with your comrades, you continue your career, or you quit. Those are your 2 options, man. He's very plain. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he's just... For Maverick, obviously, like, this guy is like a semi-father figure at the moment. That's why I feel like that's why he sought him out, right? Chris said somebody older. If for Maverick, like, he doesn't have a dad. Obviously, his dad, he finds out his dad was a hero. That's one weight off of his shoulders. And the other is, he's very plainly has a decision to make.
And he also wanted someone in his life that wasn't going to hit it and quit it.
Yeah, like old fucking Chuck over there. Chuck just bounced.
Looks like Chuck's about to take old One Eye to the optometrist.
Nice.
Well done, man. So... on to the graduation ceremony. Iceman, of course, wins Top Gun.
He does. Like, he's the man.
He wins the non-existent trophy.
He wins the trophy that doesn't exist.
He does, but Maverick shows up. He's got his uniform, the white uniform. I mean, man, I'm sorry, guys. The white uniform looks tight as fuck.
Oh, dude, it looks good.
It looks so sharp, man. It looks so good. So he shows up, and Maverick decides to graduate.
Like it'd just be too easy to get dirty.
It would be.
Shadwick's germaphobe. He was just like, there's stains everywhere.
Yeah, it would. You would instantly be ruined. But, like, man, for that 10 seconds,
see my nipples through it.
Shadwick, most of the stuff you expel is white anyway, so it probably would blend in.
God damn!
Like, I got MIGs all over it.
I just migged in my pants. You mean everything. Like, so.
It's everywhere. But the celebration is short-lived. They don't even have time to enjoy the graduation before they're already getting their deployment orders.
They can't even fucking pop champ, man. Like, it's like, let's get the fuck out of here, you guys. Don't even take a sip of that. Let's bounce.
It's time to go die in the air, dude. So, like,
congratulations.
Congratulations, dude. Glad you're the top 1%. So, they actually get deployed harken back to the very beginning of the movie, right? Back to the USS Enterprise, or whatever the fuck it's called, the carrier, there's a real world crisis happening. Evidently,
Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enemy. Yeah, I don't know if that's a shout out or if that's AI bullshit, but they go back to the carrier. They go back to the carrier they were at the beginning. That's where Stryker.
Yeah.
Stinger.
Yeah, because Stinger, an important plot point earlier was these things get within 100 miles, they can start launching like missiles at the ship. So when they're within 100 miles, I believe he said they're within range.
Well, yeah. The thing to remember is these things talk.
That is the thing to remember.
And so Maverick, Iceman, the others are deployed back to this aircraft carrier, and their enemy MiGs are threatening a crippled U.S. ship, and the pilots are basically deployed to provide air support before the rescue can begin. And so Maverick, Iceman, and the others on patrol soon engage multiple hostile MiGs. I think, what is
four
there,
or five?
5? There may have even been 6.
And I do like, too, like they did this earlier in the film. Like it looked like there was one and there are 2 flying very close to each other on the radar. And this one is like, it looks like there's 1 and then you get close and there's like 5. You're like, shit.
Dude, you mentioned it before. That's some Blue Angel shit. I wonder if that's actually a real tactic. But, dude, they encounter these hostile enemy planes and an all-out battle ensues. One of the coolest freaking, stock footage scenes where you get all of this plane action.
MiGs, I forgot what the actual MiG was, what the plane it was, but they painted it different, put a star on it, but it looks like some Cobra Commander shit. Like,
yeah.
Dude,
I always thought that too.
Like, it looks cool as shit.
I never thought about that, dude. It looks so awesome.
Right. Whatever it is that they keep referencing, is it the MiG-28?
I think it's the MiG-28, yeah.
That doesn't actually exist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just it was made up for the. But I forgot what they said what plane it was in that documentary that they painted it. But none of our listeners are pilots. I don't know. Maybe they're doctors or pilots or Mantis toboggans.
So the movie crew went to the Navy guys and they're like, hey, we need to film shooting a missile. And they're like, no. Like, we're not going to just shoot a missile. And
what?
So they, I guess they're like, all right, we'll let you shoot one. Mm-hmm. So they filmed this one missile being shot from like multiple different
angles.
Yeah. So they reused that one shot.
That's smart, man. They're like, look, we can't let you guys do this. And they're like, yeah, but the closest thing to us is Vietnam right now. They're like, you get to shoot 3 missiles.
You got 3. And so an intense battle takes place. It's just absolutely insane. It's a beautifully shot scene. Despite the fact that evidently there's only one missile and multiple angles.
Good luck fucking deciphering that, watching it back. I didn't pick that up. Like,
I didn't either.
Well done.
Like, there's so much else going on. And so during the battle, though, there's an intense moment. Maverick sort of flies through another plane's jet wash again. And it's his engines start to flame out.
Yep.
It's like the same nightmare scenario all over again. So he's completely spooked. He manages to pull out of it, and he
has that fucking stonewalled sweat face on again, like that we'd seen throughout the movie.
I will note, like when he's taking off, he actually has tears in his eyes.
Yep.
I saw that this time, and I was like, bro, this is more intense than I remember, man. It really was.
Tom Cruise, man. Say what you will about him personally, that motherfucker is an excellent actor.
He is an actor and a half, man. And he rallies when he looks at Goose's dog tags, and he starts to gain courage, and he re-engages in combat. And I mean, long story short, in an intense battle, he successfully shoots down multiple MiGs and conquers, saves Iceman and Slider's asses,
like in Silence of the Lambs, multiple MiGs.
It is white stuff.
There it is. It all comes full circle. Finally.
Bro.
It is white.
It is white. Yeah.
Damn it, dude. All right. So, anyways.
Thanks, Booze.
The mission is successful. Maverick obviously requests a flyby, which is summarily denied, but he doesn't give a fuck because he's goddamn Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Tom Hanks, bro. He's in this, dude.
And Iceman goes with him, right?
Yeah, dude. And so they both do this. Yeah, thank you, Shawa. They both do this flyby, and that fucking same guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he obviously, Maverick becomes famous for his heroics. Even though the filthy Ruskies denied the entire incident. It's all over the papers. And so Maverick even earns the respect from Iceman. I didn't know that terrible fact that, like Shavik said, about Val Kilmer not wanting to do it. But it's a really important moment in the film.
Walk us through this moment, Shavik.
Yeah.
Like, so he lands.
So everybody's like celebrating. They're back on the carrier. The pilots are out.
Joy is times 10 at this point in the movie, right?
Oh
like,
man,
you're
we're
fucking
hyped.
Stoked.
We're all hyped.
Yeah, the sailor's kissing some random chick in the middle of the city.
Yeah, that's Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, fuck, almost got you.
Yeah.
That was close. Very close.
But then, like, Iceman comes up and he does the old misdirect. He's like, you. Like, he's pissed at him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you can be my wingman anytime. And then...
Bullshit. You can be mine.
And Guns N' Roses starts playing.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. They've given no ground. They're both that competition is still there, but the respect is also there now because before they took off, like Iceman actually has a problem with Maverick
worried,
being.
right?
Yeah.
He's worried. He's like,
he said something to Jester, right? Like,
yeah,
or somebody like.
It's
we
Jester
really want him up there.
Yeah, he's like, he's really, and so it's a really a big turnaround for Iceman's character. So Val Kilmer was wrong in this.
Yeah, he
The
was
scene
very
needed to
wrong in
happen.
this. That's what I don't get. This ends up being one of the more iconic lines in the film.
There may have been something personal between
good
them.
good on the director for holding strong and being
Yeah.
like, nah, motherfucker, this goes in. I don't care what your jawline looks like.
Yeah.
You're gonna say this
need-
line, I'm gonna dub it over with AI in 40 years.
He's like, he flips some corners like, here, have a rap, shoot that thing off your face.
Saw your face.
He literally looks at Val Kilmer. He's like, I swear to God, I'm going to scrub your fucking shirtless scene if you ever give me any more look ever again, dude.
And he did.
And he did. He did that,
I'm
man.
gonna say
So
that's my conspiracy
one of
theory,
the final
dude.
things, man, is you do two things. He gets, as I guess happens when you win a dogfight, you get offered any position in the military you want.
Yeah, well,
You're famous, dude.
That
Come
can't
on,
be
show
right. Like, I mean, he's just graduated to be
to the victor goes the spoil, Shadwick. All right,
Yes.
I guess.
You get
There's not
anything
many
you want.
dogfights happening anymore.
So he decides he wants to be Top Gun and become an instructor. And the one that kind of choked me up, even on the rewatch, when he finally throws Goose's dog tags, like basically like letting go of that vice that he had, is
Right.
that symbolizes him throwing that in the
And
ocean.
that's exactly what Viper told him. He told him when that interaction, like in the bathroom, when he tells him about Goose dying, he's like, "Look,
in his tidy whities."
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you've lost somebody, you're gonna lose more. Like that's the nature of this job, and you have to let him go." And he tells him that. He said, "You have to let him go." And yeah, I choked up too because in this moment,
and then he does this weird like drags his hand across his bare back.
I saw that too.
It was a little weird, yes.
Gay. But in this moment, like finally, Tom Cruise, aka Maverick, is finally able to let Goose go. Right?
And he throws him in the ocean, man.
Decided he's not gonna let it haunt him, and he's gonna move on with what life he has left. And he throws Goose's dog tags into
He's
the
like,
ocean.
"Here, I should just left your ass in the ocean."
Yeah. So he throws it in there, and then you wrap it. You're like, all right, cool. Like he gets to be an instructor at Top Gun, but we're not done yet. We're gonna tie another bow. Because now that he's an instructor at Top Gun, it has an increased salary. Well, now Charlie's interested again. She comes back.
So her job in Washington must have not worked out.
Yeah,
because
she must have fleshed out after she had sex with that guy, and then he fired her. So because the '80s, and you can still do that. So she gets canned. It is kind of a cool moment.
She comes back with Hep C.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And so they start playing Righteous Brothers. You've Lost That Love and Feeling on the jukebox, which is this is where you get to hear the intro I was talking about. Fucking great song. But
Maverick's back in the bar. You hear the Righteous Brothers song playing, and then
he's like, huh. And then she comes around the corner, and then
there she is.
Tee-hee, and
and they reconnect, reunite. They have the same dialogue they had in the beginning of the film.
Right.
They repeat it, so it's like everything comes full circle. And the film ends with basically two jets breaking the sound barrier and flying off into the sunset. And I mean, dang!
I'm just saying, like, it's on Paramount Plus right now. If you guys have that, go back and watch this. I know Maverick just came out not too long ago, but
have you guys watched that?
I haven't watched that one yet. And
Really?
I wanted to
have
rewatch
not.
this one
pretty
before I
good.
went back and watched it. But, like, this was just a lot of fun for me on this rewatch because, again, adult
same.
eyes, it's kind of like Tin Cup. It was me getting over the shit I didn't like as a kid, in that movie. Like, this one was the same thing where it was like, it only took me until I was in my 40s to mature at all. So, to realize this shit,
a little bit.
A little, not much.
BKL like healing the old wounds, dude.
Talk to older people. You can talk to us. We're older people too, maybe. Maybe you're a younger
dude.
listener. We have advice for you, but go watch this one. It's a great one, man. Final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, man. Like, you definitely need to go rewatch this one. I feel like it's an 80s classic. There's some definitely 80s tropes to be enjoyed about it. But in the end, I feel like, this is something that needs to be just revisited because overall, it's a very well done film. It's filmed incredibly. A lot of heart went into this.
Shout out Tony Scott again. I'm just telling you.
Yes. Both of you mentioned early in the beginning that how this is practical effects. Everything in our world nowadays is so full of artificial intelligence.
Dude, people are putting baby heads on Tom Cruise.
A trailer just came out this week, I think, for the new He-Man movie.
Yeah.
And God, I loved He-Man when I was a kid.
Same.
Oh yeah.
And
same.
I want this movie to be good, but just seeing how heavily CGI'd it is already just from the trailer, I'm really just not too excited about it.
And that brings it to my point. It's like in our current world where everything is so fake, so generated by computers and artificial intelligence, this is something that's real. Go back and watch something that is 100% real. A man lost his life during the filming of this. Like that's how real it was. Like that deserves it for some reason to me right now. Top Gun, even more so than it belongs in a special place in filmmaking.
Yeah,
now.
It's great and it's timeless. 40 years later, we're still having these reactions about it. That's pretty incredible, man.
Yep.
So let's wrap it up, guys. From the movie Top Gun, what is your favorite line? And I'll go first.
I feel the need for speed.
Yeah, dude, I even felt it in my soul. I'm like,
Leaf Man, what do you got?
Dude, I gotta go with the commanding officer.
God damn it! Heck, twice! I want some butts!
Shadwick, I believe you had two that you wanted to debut here.
Well, I wanted, because I kind of wanted us all to do it, but I wanted to do the quote that stuck with me from when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So my nostalgic quote would be,
"You screw up just this much, you'll be flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong."
Yes, it's so
I thought
good.
that was the funniest shit when I was a kid.
It's so good.
And now, and again, I never even picked up this line until I watched it the other night. And I think it's because when I was a kid, I was so focused on Maverick and thought like Iceman and his crew were like the bad guys basically. Yeah. But in this last dogfight, they're looking for the MiGs, and Slider says,
"They must be close. I'm getting a hard on."
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because he has that line earlier, right? Remember when he's in the classroom or whatever? He's like, "I'm getting a boner." Dude. Like, so.
And if I can. And this is completely off color for me, or out of character. We had a friend, Mike McJunkin, that passed away a couple of years ago, and he would call me up all the time. And one of the first things he would say, he would do the Scott Hall, "Hey yo,"
yeah.
But also all the time he would be like,
"Talk to me, Goose."
Man.
So when I heard that the other night, I just I thought about him.
Man,
yeah.
that's R.I.P. man. So,
guys,
if you haven't already, be sure like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, spread the word, man. Spread your seed. Be sure to check us out on Patreon and other things on there. And with that, we'll take it over to our Norm Macdonald clip of the week.
Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies.